Hey, everybody, welcome to Breakfast All Day. Alonso and Christy, Paul Verhoeven's back, and he's got lesbian nuns.
Woohoo!
Benedetta, you've seen the protests, now see the movie.
Yeah. So our friends in New York were doing their voting today, and I guess there were protests outside of Lincoln Center.
I know that when it's screened at the New York Film Festival, there were protests. And I don't now today's opening day. I don't know if people are showing up at theaters or what the deal is. It's the same. It's the fucking Catholic League, which isn't really affiliated with the church. It's just one crank with a fax machine who likes to complain about things.
Titillating things. Hot lesbian nuns in love.
Yes.
My former colleague at the AP, Mark Kennedy, wrote a story about this, wrote a review rather about this, and he's just getting savaged for it because he called it "Showgirls at a Convent," and I'm like, sign me up for that.
He's not wrong. I tweeted, Nomi Malone is abbess.
Yeah. There's definitely some parallels there. So, this takes place at a convent where at the beginning we see a young woman being brought there by her parents. She's just a girl then, but she's already clearly got a mind of her own, and she's quick on her feet. Like she's confident and she can think for herself. And then 18 years later, we see her as Virginie Efira. Benedetta is her character's name. And she has this really intense connection with Jesus, right? Like nuns all say like, oh, I'm the bride of Jesus, but like she really means it. She actually believes it. And she has these incredibly vivid fantasies, delusions, images in her head, visions, ? And they feel really real to her. And then one day a young woman shows up. She is running from her father. She is played by Daphne Patakia. Her name is Bartolomea. And so Benedetta sees her and is like, we got to protect her. We got to keep her here, and, arranges to make sure that she can live at the convent. And very quickly, a very intense relationship develops between the two of them. Very physical, very emotional, very intense. Charlotte Rampling, who is the Reverend Mother, does not approve of this, and she has always done things her way. How you solve a problem like Benedetta, and this is what this is about. It's basically, it is totally trashy and sexy and funny. Like it sounds like it's a really serious movie about like heavy religious themes and beliefs, but it's funny as shit because it's a Paul Verhoeven movie. He directed it and he co-wrote it, and it is based on, this is actually a person, this is a real person's story. Yeah. It's based on the book Immodest Acts, The Life of a Lesbian Nun in Renaissance Italy. If that does not make you want to see this movie, I don't know what's wrong with you. Well, anyway,
Verhoeven has always been really, I think, fascinated with Catholic iconography. You look at a movie like The Fourth Man, like he loves to traffic in this imagery. He said for years that he wants to make a film about the life of Jesus, which I'm like, please make that movie now. Give him all the money to make that movie. I want to see Paul Verhoeven's Life of Christ. But I think this is a film that ties into Showgirls, certainly, and Black Book, and a lot of films that are about women making their way in the world and surviving in a system in which men are ultimately in charge. So in the same way that like Nomi and Crystal may be duking it out for superiority in the Vegas show, ultimately it's the men who are the bosses and the men who have the real power in the situation. And here you have these nuns and they have to deal with the disdain of the Mother Superior, but even she can only stand up so much next to like what he's not a bishop, he's a something else. There's Catholic titles I've never heard of in this movie before.
The Lambert Wilson character?
Yes, but that's on me, not on the film.
Nuncio?
Well, the nuncio eventually, but then the guy above the one that he keeps saying, well, you're not a bishop, you're a prelate or something, I forget. Anyway, so I think this movie is, on the one hand, yes, lurid and trashy and outrageous, but it also, I think, really does speak a lot to faith, because the film makes it just in a way where, like, is Benedetta having these visions? Is she having stigmata? Is she faking it? You can point to different things in the movie and say, oh, well, yes, she is, or no, she isn't, based on all the information that you're given. And that's kind of how faith works, you know, in that you either believe or you don't. And that's so much of how religion in general, you know, operates with people. So this is weirdly kind of a film that's very much about faith and about belief, but it's also about the imperfection of human systems and human dogma.
It is about faith, but it's also about women having to be canny enough to figure out how to survive in a patriarchal society.
No question.
Because she, as we established early on, she's smart. She is she's resourceful and resilient, and
knows how to knows how to use the language of faith to get what she wants.
Yes, and is not intimidated by any man.
Yeah.
And yeah, is she a charlatan? I don't know. You know, yeah, I guess you could interpret this in a lot of different ways, but I appreciate how the women in this film do what they want to do, no matter what. Yeah. And it exposes the hypocrisy of the men in the society, because they are simultaneously outraged and titillated. Like when Benedetta's crimes go up on, you know, for trial, her transgressions, it's really not about whether or not the stigmata is real. It's about like, let's talk about what you and Sister Bartolomea have been doing.
Right.
You know, and let's hear about in gory detail what that's all about. So I wonder if that's Verhoeven's, you know, little statement about how a film like Showgirls was received, right?
So
people looking at it for the trashy, lurid part of it and not seeing their statement.
Exactly. People bypassing the spiritual and going directly to the physical, you know, and of course, to be putting out a movie in 2021 in which the plague is a constant undercurrent, you know, not to be escaped either.
Oh yeah. When like Lambert Wilson has to like cover up his nose and mouth when he goes to like address somebody. I'm like, oh, right. Yeah. Or like they won't let him into the convent because they're like, oh, you're from the part of Italy where they've been ravaged by the plague.
Exactly. They're building that wall, you know.
Anyway, it's getting a lot of hype because of like the very graphic, lurid sexual stuff, and the sex scenes are very sexy. They are. They're very intense and very passionate, but there's a lot more going on besides that.
Yeah. Verhoeven, I think, is one of the few filmmakers of the modern day that is not afraid of this level of sensuality, and good on him. And he does it really well. But yeah, this is a film, I think, that operates in a lot of different directions. And I think that there are people who are going to be like, like not wanting to deal with it at all because of the log line. But I think that it is genuinely, look, if there are few major filmmakers who want to deal with sexuality, there are probably even fewer ones who want to deal with issues of faith and spirituality. And Verhoeven's doing that here. So for all the people who are mad that he's putting it in the context of a film about lesbian nuns, which did exist, and the people in this film did exist, he is also broaching these topics about giving oneself over to the idea of faith. And that's a provocative topic, and I'm glad he's tackling it.
Yep. I'm saying 8.6.
I said 9.2.
Okay.
Big fan.
8.9 is our number. Benedetta is in theaters.
It's in theaters, like I think maybe just New York, LA, but it's, beginning an award season platforming. So if it's not near you at the moment, it will be soon, and then eventually, of course, streaming. So keep an eye out. If you're a Verhoeven fan, you do not want to miss this one. Yep. Thanks for watching, everybody. Like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us at BeFastAllDay on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and check out our Patreon page at patreon.com/BeFastAllDay. It's where you're going to get our recaps of The Great. You're going to get our recaps of Hawkeye and so much more. Become one of our subscribers. You'll be glad you did. Oh, and videos like this with no ad interruptions. I know that's a plus too. All right. Check it out and have a good week, you guys. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.